Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, let me know if you guys can hear me. So before I start, leave a comment. Let me know if you can hear me. Go ahead and leave a comment because I'm not about to do this whole thing and y'all can't hear me or it sounds funny. Can someone leave a comment? Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, thank you. Well, thank you, Wise. Appreciate it. Okay, good. So we're going to go over this. So a lot of people want to get started in real estate. They look around where they live and houses start at $200, $250, maybe $150,000. They hear me talking and I'm like, I buy properties for $13,000, $25,000, and I've retired early off of that. And they're like, it's impossible. And you look at my testimonial videos, it's not. And they're recent, right? Like it's very possible. I do this every day. But then I go, but in order to find these properties, so if you have a budget, so if someone comes to me and they're like, I have $13,000 for invest in a property, $20,000, $30,000. I'm like, cool. I focus on properties that are under $50K for a single family home, under $80,000 for duplex. Are you ready? First thing I ask them, are you willing to go where the deals are? They're like, yes. Now, since they're talking to me, they're not as scared. You guys never talk to me. So in your mind, you think, oh my God, I don't want to have to deal with the toilet. I don't deal with toilets. Are you guys kidding me? Have you been following me for all these years? I don't deal with toilets. I don't deal with tenants. I don't deal with any of that. But as you're very strategic about choosing a market that can handle you not being there. I don't deal with toilets. I don't deal with plumbing. I don't deal with heating. The only things you need to do, there's a few things. So what you need to do is make sure, A, you're choosing a market that can facilitate you being long distance. Not every market is set up for that. A very simple example, although there's much more detail, is say you find a cheap 35K duplex in the middle of nowhere, but it's rural. Is that a place to go? I'm like, it depends. We look into it. Maybe they have one property management company. You're like, they can manage it. It depends, right? And you would think, well, it doesn't even have a property management because some don't. But if they do and there's only one, is that a good market? Actually, no. I wouldn't recommend you go anywhere where there's only one property management team. What if they suck? You don't know a contractor is good or bad until you get in business with them, unfortunately, especially if there's no reviews. And in rural places, there really aren't. So would I go where there's only one? No. And so there's so many things like that. They're small, but they're so important about choosing the right market. And so when I teach my clients this, I'm like, that's already taken care of. We looked into that. We looked into all these different factors to make sure it's even a viable option. And that's what people miss about these low sub 30K properties is they just go anywhere. They don't vet the market. They don't know what they're looking for because when you're new and you've never done this, how do you know what you don't know? You can't know what you don't know. Experience has to teach you. Now, it sucks, unfortunately, if you let experience teach you, but it's an expensive lesson and it doesn't have to be. So I'm telling you, I do not. I think the one thing I dealt with was an email, but I've already made sure the market was good and that there was good management for me and that I can manage it remotely and that it could do that. But the team on the ground had that capability. But if you don't know what to look for, you don't know to seek it out. Now, I would say people who invest long distance, if you do it the way I do it, I don't know about these other fools. The way we do it, we got it down pat. So I'm not going to speak for other people who've had horror stories. We just don't do that. We just don't. With making sure that the team on the ground can work with you long distance, and there's a certain way you go about it because you have to realize contractors are different, real estate agents are different, and property managers are different. You should be able to do it. Now, property managers are going to say they can do anything. And that's why it's really important to make sure that you're not just going anywhere with just one representation or company because they all talk big. And trust me, I've been there. So there's things you look for to make sure that you can work with the team and you being long distance not an issue and that they handle everything. One time I was on vacation in 2024 and I got an email that it was a heater stopped in the middle of winter, but I also got an email saying that this is what was done. You just get notified, but you're hiring people. Now, there's an art to hiring people. There's an art to choosing to market with those people There are some markets that are absolutely terrible. I don't care how many property managers there are. And you need to know that before you even choose that as the site to buy that low cost property. So I am going over this to let you guys know and assure you there can be headaches, but we just don't do that because we account for everything. And the interesting thing is when you invest long distance, and that's all you can do, like my California, DC, New York, Florida, Houston, Texas clients, these are all places where people make a lot. They have 10, 15, 20, 30,000 to invest, but they can't invest locally because it's just who wants to pay $200,000, right? But who wants to pay $30,000 or 45, right? They all had to invest long distance, and now they know more than locals on the ground because they've had to learn how to analyze every different market in every different city in every single state, from tenant friendly to landlord friendly, and all these other things and nuances that people just don't know they need to do. And because they've already taken that into account and they align themselves and optimize with every single, there's like 10 different factors that I go into that if you align yourself with, it just is so smooth, but you don't know what you don't know. So there's no toilets, no messed up tenants, right? Like you even account for that when you're long distance by betting the right personnel on the ground. So I just wanted to assure you there's no headaches. You can, in ahead of time, if you know, which, like I said, the reason this knowledge came to me is because I could only invest long distance, and my refusal to stay in corporate America where I was microaggressed and treated as a second class citizen. Like I may not be higher at that moment. I wasn't high class, but I knew when I was being treated disrespectfully, and that was not sustainable. I took that salary and converted it into real estate. Now I'm semi-retired at 41. Recreation, Fire 2.0, where it's like financial independent, retire early, but I can work from anywhere. I have a trip to DC next week, Miami the week after. And I do it with, very smartly, right? I'm not like high spending doing all this travel. I go to France every month, right? So that's what these can get you, right? Like I'm not just talking out of my mouth. You guys started, look at my 2013 videos. I said 10 years, and I want that for you. A lot of you guys don't know this opportunity exists, or you have a lot of misconceptions about it. But knowledge is that difference between being poor and being rich, right? And I am here to share it with you, and I'm more than happy to do it. So I do have a workshop today I want to promote, and I would love to see you guys. It starts in an hour at 11 o'clock. But even if you missed the first one, the replay would be available, and you still get the follow-up call. So you'd be able to clarify everything with me. And by the end of this, we are looking at markets and we're looking at properties, right? You either do it on the call with me or in our private one-on-one, but you'll know how to vet the market. So you're going to be at the point where you can start analyzing properties, and I'll do it with you the way I've done it with my clients for the last 10 years. So that is the opportunity. If you guys always been thinking about it, you wanted to get started, you've been watching me for years, listening to me for years, you haven't started, this would honestly is like a really, really big opportunity. I would suggest you take me up on it. It's just a really good chance to finally get started, especially if you've been following me for a long time. And a lot of you guys had, and like I just worked with you now after 5 or 6 years of you watching my content. And it's working out great, and you guys are progressing, and it's really cute to see. Like you guys get your properties too, so we can all be in this little club of landowners and real estate investors and successful real estate investors who did it smart, right? You buy low, you rent it, and then you sell high. Like this is wonderful. So it's a model that just needs a lot of knowledge and experience, and that's what I provide. So I'd love for you guys to join. In the description. There is a link to PayPal where you sign up, and then it sends you directly to the Zoom link. It starts at 11 o'clock today. It is today for the first part and tomorrow for the second part. The 3 big areas is, I wrote this down, how to find the markets. Doesn't matter where you are. Doesn't matter if you're from California, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, Deutschland, Germany, because I've had clients from all over the world. It doesn't matter if you're any of those. It doesn't matter if you're New York, DC. I show you how to find it. Then the second part is how to analyze these markets. So I found some markets, but is it the one I should be looking at? And the third one is how to manage this long distance, and what are you looking for in that market search and after, and how do you manage the closing and post-closing long distance, and we go over that in detail. So those are the 3 parts. We'll be going over each one. So I'll be getting the information and then Q&A at the end. And then you all have a follow-up call for those who signed up in the first 2 days. You guys got a bonus extra 30 minutes. So I would suggest you do the 30-minute call after, and 10 of you signed up so far. I would do the 30-minute call after the first one, and then your second 30-minute call after the second. So, each way we can break it down and I can get you started on the next portion. My goal is that to have you guys looking at properties that are viable candidates and doing the analysis on them with you by the end of this schedule. So any questions before I go? But I would love to see all of you guys there. And thank you to the 10 who signed up. We're going to have fun today and next week. And I had to do it in 2 parts because it's simple once you know, but I wanted to give you time to give you this section, let you absorb it because it's a lot of information I give, and then do the second section and then absorb it. So that's going to be best for you guys. I already know it off the top of my head, but I do find there is some pause to settle in, look, start seeing things, start going through the process, and then opening up. So no questions or comments? Alrighty then. Okay, cool. I put a link in the description. If any of you guys, you can sign up with PayPal, then you'll be routed directly to the Zoom information. Again, shout out if there's any DC or Miami people who would like to meet and help me host a meet and greet, or just know a good place, or just want to connect while I'm in town, go ahead and just send me an email at Lisa Phillips REI, because I will be there over the next couple of weeks. Yeah, so just email me if you're like, hey, I'm in town. Maybe we can get together for something and just have lunch. All right, but I would like to know if there's a venue people meet at to sort of, have 5-10 people in the area come and visit, and we could just meet each other and build a community and get to know one another. Okay, I have a wonderful day. See you guys in 1 hour for a 2-part schedule on how easy it is to buy a low-cost property in a great condition in working-class neighborhoods that are overlooked. Be discreet. Don't tell everyone about your markets. And by the end, we need to be looking at properties that are viable. And I'm going to show you about how to get there and how we take into account, the travel and all that before you even decide. Okay, bye.